What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be talking about this deck of fate that's ongoing right now and whether it's a good idea to participate in this deck of fate. The big draw to this is basically we have a 2x boosted chance to get some high rank blessings from the Immortal Soulstone. So as you can clearly see here, the Immortal Soulstone with the Awakening boost. And yeah, there is a boosted chance at getting the 5 and 6 star ranks for the souls. I mean, you know, if you can spike one of these 5 or 6 star souls for a champion that you use, it's a massive power boost, of course. And pulling soul stones is the only way to get any kind of blessings for mythical champions. So it's a really big, kind of situation for a lot of players to kind of either jump into or not. But the thing is that's kind of overhanging our heads is this big cloud of what's to come in October, especially if you're really interested in the Ninja Turtles or the guaranteed champions like Raphael. Also, the potential of a Titan event for April as well lingers ahead. The other thing is the Immortal Soulstone is, obviously way more accessible than the Eternal Soulstone. So it actually gives more people opportunities to get something useful, right? So 36% chance of getting a 5 or 6 star soul. And yeah, if you hit one for a champion that you use, it's massive. If you hit a mythical, it's even more crazy. And Plarium added a sweetener here, right? With the deck of fate. So you can kind of see here, I've been slowly working the deck of fate here. I'm at 16,000. I've only done this through training. I had a lot of stuff trained up. I skipped a bunch of training events, so I had some extra food and I just processed it. Most of this was done through brews. I spent about 1,000 gems or so, just grinding campaign. But yeah, I have a bit of a dilemma here because I really, really want to pull these soul stones, or at least some of them. Because I understand that, obviously the power spikes will come from getting a blessing out of this. And yeah, why are we so gun shy about pulling these resources? Well, basically, let's refer back to our event calendar here that we posted a couple weeks ago for the turtle events. So here's the calendar here. We're currently in September in the middle of this Donnie 5-star Soul Titan event. And then we have a bit of a blank space. And then in October, this blue kind of circle here, that's the projected Leonardo event. So Leonardo, the champion, plus his 5-star soul should be available during this week. And it's going to be in a Heroes Path if we believe the leaked notes. And then we have this red blob here, and that's going to be Raphael's deck of fate. Again, from the leaked notes. This yellow portion here is actually April's Titan event. So both events will land in April's Titan event. So there's a lot of really cool stuff happening in October. Obviously, September, you get the 5-star soul, and then probably a fusion is going to happen at the last week of September here. We just didn't know the date as of today. But I'm really gun shy about spending resources because Leonardo's 5-star soul and his champion Heroes Path is going to be extremely expensive. The thing is, we just don't know exactly what requirements are necessary, and I'm a little bit worried about the requirements. I've been stocking up shards for a little bit now. I've used as little shards as possible to complete the past fusions, past couple of events. I spent the ancient shards because ancient shards are just easy to acquire and they're not worth a lot of points anyways. But I did hold on to the void shards and I did accumulate a lot of sacred shards after really holding back on them. So it's, I'm getting myself ready, right? It's a month away, getting myself ready. So hypothetically, I was thinking, oh, would I be able to handle, a really, really tough Leonardo Heroes Path event? So I dug around a little bit, dug back into the history books. And if you guys recall, we did have a Padraig Heroes Path last year. And his Heroes Path was for his champion, so him, plus his 5-star soul. Now, I remember this was quite grueling. So I actually looked back at the Padraig Heroes Path and it was actually with soul stones and shards, basically the two most limited resources that we could have going into a hero's path. Now, obviously the point values and stuff will be different, but I dug up his hero's path and then we have a cheat sheet here, courtesy of a Redditor named Stuper Noob. So thank you so much for that. So I'm just going to bring it up here, but this is the Padraig's Heroes Path breakdown for that Heroes Path. So it's a year ago, a year and a bit ago. So you see here with the green line, we have Padraig's, the champion, 94,000 points here. It's going to cost you 22 sacred shards. So if you guys are not aware of how much these things cost, it's quite expensive. This is kind of what you should expect. Fatalis was a Void legendary, and he cost 25 Sacred Shards worth of points during his Deck of Fate last January. So that's kind of like the baseline of what we're expecting here. A lot of people are undershooting this a little bit. I would say if it's under 20, I would say that's a pretty big gift from Plarium, but I think it's going to be over 20. And the cool thing about Padraig's Heroes Path is that it does include his soul as well in the Heroes Path. So this is the most comparable, right? The breakdown. And I found that Padraig's requirement was the hardest because it was Shard and Soulstones. Yeah, being the most limited, right? So is it possible to do the champion plus the 5-star soul together? So the 5-star soul plus Padraig is going to cost 181,000 path points for Padraig. And this is the breakdown here, right, guys? So you can kind of see it will cost you 41 Sacred Shards worth of points. And then it also has the Soulstone breakdown here as well. And you can see the amazing, staggering amount of Soulstones required to actually participate in this. 121 medium Soulstones to finish the 5-star soul and Padraig the champion. 25 big rocks to do it. And then he had the point breakdown here. So 100 points for mortals, 1,500 points for immortals, 7,500 points for the big guy. So I saw this and I thought to myself, would I be able to do this if the Leo's Heroes Path open, let's say like tomorrow? With the current resources that I currently have, would I be able to accumulate, 180,000 points based on this projected, based on this past point breakdown per resource? And I considered the Shard and the Soulstone, like I said, the hardest because it's just the most limited, right? We can't go out and buy these as a free-to-play. So I just did a quick calculation here. Let's say I have 14 Sacred Shards, 4,500 points each, 63,000 points from all my Sacred Shards. Like I said, we're looking for 180,000 points, roughly 180,000 points. 143 Void Shards at 750 points each. That's 100,000 points. So technically, I could probably get the champion plus the soul. Just by pulling shards. I would have to pull all my void shards and all my sacred shards, but that would lock me in for both the champion and the 5-star soul, which is really huge. So I don't even need to touch my Soulstone stash, but for interest's sake, if we jump into the Soulstone stash and see what we can do here, we have actually we had quite a bit of Immortal Soulstones. We actually have 21 here from coins. So I totally forgot about these, but these were saved up as coins. So actually, in total, I have about 60 of these medium stones. So 60 of these medium stones. And then the point total for each is 1,500, according to the Padraig's Heroes Path. So that's 90,000 points. So basically, from 60 of these Immortal stones, I can do, the champion or the 5-star soul right away. And then we won't include the big rock or the small guys. But basically, I have plenty of resources to be able to do it, but I'm not going to be in great shape after spending resources here like this, like basically spending all my soul stones and basically spending all my sacred shards as well as in addition to some more shards as well. So if you guys can think about the shards and the soul stones, I would imagine this is probably the worst point setup for a hero's path that Plarium can throw out there for us, I think. Maybe the other worst one would be something like soul stones, which are super restrictive. Not many people have them, and something like training event. And you would basically have to train your way up for the champion and the 5-star soul, which would absolutely be insane energy spend, insane effort. So with that all being said, we do have probably about 3 weeks until the the first event will drop for Leonardo, as projected by the leaked notes. So we still have some time to accumulate some more resources, but also keep in mind that we probably will have a fusion at the end of the month. So right now I'm looking pretty okay if Plarium decides to drop this kind of event with this style of requirement, similar to the Padraig's Heroes Path back in the day. But hopefully this chart here of Padraig's old Heroes Path gives you guys a sense of, maybe the worst case scenario that could happen for Leonardo's Heroes Path. With that all being said, I think I'm going to hold on to my resources here and I will just sit until October. And then once we see the Leo's Heroes Path, then I'll be obviously more willing to spend resources afterwards. Like I said, we also have a fusion most likely coming at the end of the month. Just wait for announcements for that. So that's going to take some resources as well. So for now, I'm just going to sit pat on my resources, especially the Soulstones here. Like I said, I have 60 of these. It's a good event for me, Awakening Boost, but I really have to, restrain myself from pulling some of these just so I don't mess up my opportunity to get some of the guarantee events coming in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of information about what to expect in these big events coming up. Obviously, like I said in the previous video, you want to get the champion first. That's your priority, and then focus on the soul afterwards. You can always build the soul after acquiring the champion, especially if the champion is an exclusive champion, which you can't acquire again. Getting the champion is the most important part. If you guys missed it, the Leo showcase that I did showed him as a very capable damage dealer. So I don't want to hype him up too much, but I think he's a very, very good champion. And even for myself, I would probably consider using him in some situations as well by himself. So that might say something about how good he is. But you guys can judge for yourselves. Just make sure you guys check out the video on him. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below how you guys will basically fare if an event like the Padraig Heroes Path showed up maybe a couple weeks from now. How will you guys be able to finish it? Would you guys be able to finish it with the resources you guys currently have? Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching until the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.